favorite birthday memory was when I was turning 4, my daddy got me a marching band.
When I went with my cousin and my 2 best friends to Charlotte Knight's game.
When Sarah Purr came to my birthday party.
I'm going to Space Cadets.
Play golf, ride on a motorcycle, jump in jumping house.
I love the pink poodle cupcakes. Your heart starts beating and you just can't wait to hang out with your friends and listen to music and all that kind of stuff. You see all your friends you've been wanting to see for like a year. I remember all my favorite birthdays.
For me, it was my 10-year-old birthday when we had a Star Wars birthday party and my friends and I all came over, and you know, to be able to do that for somebody else, to be able to do it for somebody who's never had a party, I mean, that's fairly impactful.
John and I were just talking shortly after our now oldest 9-year-old had turned 3 after his birthday, and we had a newborn. And I guess we were just kind of reflecting as new parents and thinking about what we wanted to do to instill volunteerism in our children.
Wanted our boys to get involved in giving back to the community. I think we both have fond memories growing up of volunteering. It was instilled in both of us at a very young age.
And I think just on the heels of Alex's 3rd birthday, we were thinking about how happy he was and how filled with joy he was at that time, and surrounded by family and friends, and thought to ourselves, well, what about children who perhaps don't get an opportunity to experience that?
These kids sometimes don't really get birthdays or presents, and it makes me really happy just to be so blessed that I get birthday parties every year while they probably get a birthday party every 2 or 3 years.
What does that child feel like and go through if nobody is celebrating their birthday? And so we just had the idea that we're going to ask the Salvation Army Center of Hope to see if anybody was doing this and who was coming out and celebrating a birthday. The kids, you know, just participated. They just had so much fun, and everybody singing happy birthday just as loud as they could. Cake all over their faces, all over everything. We were just hooked.
I don't think there was one in the room who had ever even been to a birthday party. And that absolutely surprised us and touched us even more, because it was just an experience they had never had. So we had these wonderful ideas and these things that we knew we wanted to bring to the community, but we knew we needed a base of volunteers and people willing to step in and help out, lend a hand, and make it happen.
I had just recently retired from corporate America. I had had some time to myself, but need a little something more to do. I wanted to give back to the local community, and this is right here in my backyard.
I got involved with Bright Blessings about 5 years ago at the urging of a friend of mine. We had just been talking about ways to get our kids involved in community service, and she brought me to a party at Charlotte Emergency Housing, and I've been hooked ever since.
Bright Blessings has 2 core programs, our Bless a Birthday program and our Bless a Baby program. Our Bless a Birthday program actually has 2 parts to it. One we call our shelter services, and that is where we go into the homeless shelters in a 4-county region. We go every month, and we provide a birthday party for the children and their families who are there.
Shelter parties are a lot like what your children would do at their parties. We go out and we celebrate all the children that are at the shelter get to come, and every party always has some sort of theme, and then they do a craft or activity. And at the end of the party, there's always time, of course, for cake and cupcakes and juice, and we sing happy birthday, and they get to blow out candles. And then, as with all birthday parties, then the gifts get to be opened, and at the end of the party, every child gets to take a goodie bag home. Kids just want to interact with you and talk to you, and you just want to love on them. You just want to love on the kids, and just seeing the birthday children come alive because they know it's for them, and just see their face light up and how special they feel.
It brings everybody together for an uplifting experience, and something that, again, kind of gives that recognition to that child, makes them feel like the superstar of the day, that we want them to feel that way, and it gives families a really uplifting opportunity to come together.
I was at a shelter party, and we had a little 8-year-old boy, and all the kids were lined up. That day there in particular, we had 15 birthdays, so you can imagine they were all lined up, and we did cupcakes. And we sang happy birthday, and everybody blew out their candles but one little boy. And he just stood there, and he didn't know how to blow out a candle. So the kids all started coaxing him how to blow out a candle, and after he blew it out, he looked at me and he had the biggest smile on his face. He said, "Can we do it again?"
One of the things that we incorporate with our shelter parties when we're out at a facility is bringing the families together for a meal before we have the celebration.
For the last probably 4 years, I've donated food to the homeless shelter parties. We make up pasta trays, which the kids love, and one of their volunteers comes and picks them up and takes them to the shelter.
Our student services program helps children who are transient homeless, so they're not living in the shelters that we're serving, but they're kind of moving around from place to place.
They are able to bring just joy and hope and normalcy to so many of our students, but the best thing is that they do it in such a generous, humble, selfless way. It's not to bring attention to them, it's all to bring attention to the kids.
So if they're in elementary school, they receive a classroom party package, so their peers don't necessarily know that it came from us. They just think that maybe the parent dropped it off, and it's cookies and juice and an opportunity for them to celebrate their day in school with their classmates and just feel normal. Middle and high schoolers get a big backpack program that they get to take home wherever that may be and celebrate their day with family as well. So. And all of those children receive critical care essentials as well through our Care and Comfort Bag program. They receive new books through our Gift of Literacy program.
One of the things that First Book Charlotte wants to do is get as many brand new books out to children who might not have access to books. And being able to do that through Bright Blessings has been wonderful because we're reaching a lot of children that we wouldn't normally reach. I think this provides an opportunity for them to feel good about themselves and also to have access to something that should not be a luxury for children, but unfortunately this day and age, books are a luxury.
Our Bless a Baby program actually began out of a need that there were a lot of babies that were coming into homelessness.
We create for them a blessing basket, and the blessing basket is full of all kinds of critical and essential needs that any baby would need as it's beginning life or in the early stages of their lives.
One of my favorite stories is this woman actually took out a blessing basket to drop it off. And she got to the shelter where the woman was. And the woman had the child sitting next to her and literally was just in a towel.
There wasn't much connection between her and the child at all. And so not only bringing the basket to this mother, but she stopped to talk with her and sit with her and show her all the things there.
But just to see the look on the mother's face when the tags were cut off and she could smell the clothes. And it was that moment where she was showing a mother how to swaddle her baby and the joy that the mother felt and the pride that she had with that baby.
Everything changed in that moment for that mother. Everything about her changed. Her face went from being forlorn to being just full of joy. She was holding her baby and loving on it, and just there was a connection there.
It was a basket of hope.
Bright Blessings does so much great work on the impact side in the community, but the real heartbeat of the organization is back in the Giving Village, which is this unique and special environment back at the Bright Blessings facility where adults, children, families, organizations can come in and put their hands on the toys, the baskets, the blessings that ultimately goes out and serves the community.
We have so many projects that are available for kids of all ages, from simple things like making gift tags or helping create handmade wrapping paper, filling goodie bags and treat bags, wrapping gifts.
To me, when I see a child that gets to come and volunteer here, and I think that's what makes us unique, is that families can come and they can be part of it and they can give back, and it's just a great environment to do that.
We're impassioned about what we're doing, but it takes thousands of people to make this run and work.
And they just keep coming, new ones, they become familiar. They might just stop in for a tour. Next week they're here, hands-on.
If you had asked us 3 years ago if we thought that today Bright Blessings would be what it is and would be serving thousands of kids every year, we never would have dreamed it would have grown as fast as it has.
Oh, they're my new favorite organization. I love Bright Blessing. I definitely see it continuing. I hope it continues. I don't see any stopping them. Children are so resilient. When they're in the shelters, they are still thinking of where they're going down the road. They're not thinking necessarily about right where they're at that moment. They still have their hopes and dreams, and the fact that we're able to encourage them to continue with that is just awesome.
I think what we find is that if you give people an opportunity to do their small part, all those small parts together can create something really amazing.
The future is, if no homeless child ever woke up on their birthday and didn't have the opportunity to celebrate it.